All right, and we back like we never left. It's your man Sammy BE, along with the vivacious Luisa L, aka. You already know what it is and shit, you know. The cast podcast, you know, we gotta start mentioning Louise. We gotta start mentioning the hashtag. You know what I mean? Get that viral, straight up movie. Hashtag the cast podcast. You know what I mean? On your social medias, on the Instagram and you know TikToks and all that. Since you know all that other
TikTok,
stuff. Twitter. You know what I mean? So yeah, the cast podcast, man. Episode 16. 16? Yeah, I think 15. Luis, long time. What's up?
Long time. How you doing?
I see you.
Everything's good. I'm getting naked all over the streets of New York. You know how I would do.
You know,
so Daze. Oh wait, what?
She got the superhero thing going on. You know what I'm saying?
It's not just a super. First off, let me tell the public. Okay, first off,
go
it's
ahead.
called. I'm a body paint model in New York City. So I go around, not always completely naked, but if you're lucky, you catch me nude. And I get painted in New York in connection with Human Connection Arts, which is a nonprofit organization. And, you know, they do what they do. And that's what it is. So people paint me, but it's not just like as characters, Sammy, first off. Although I have been painted as Captain Marvel.
That's interesting.
But then that's it.
That's it,
that's
right?
How often you do
that?
How often you do that?
Lately I've been doing it really often. Like the last 2 weekends, there was Body Paint Day, which was in the heart of Times Square. I actually got featured in the Daily News. I made the cover photo.
Salute. One time. Soul clap for that. Soul clap for that. Daily News, big accomplishment.
Yeah, and then there's another, it's called the Village Sun. It's another like newspaper outlet, whatever the fuck. So I made the cover for that one.
Yep. Another soul clap for that.
You know, I'm out here fucking making moves. But and this Thursday, I'm gonna be doing a UV neon body paint session where he's gonna transform me into like some sort of cosmic alien. I don't know. That's the vibe. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
And then you also do the flute. You know what I mean? All the guys who want their flute played. Pause.
You know what? They say that. They say that. So yes, I'm a flute player, as we should know by now, those avid listeners. Yeah, I've been doing flute covers, and they're very entertaining, Sammy. Would you not say?
Yeah. Nah, they do. They get good money with it. You know what I'm saying? The covers. You can check out Luisa's Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, shout that out to people.
Luisa Ladeveze, Luisa Ladeveze. It's my full name.
Yeah.
I know this shit's complicated, but deal with it, you know.
Yeah, but I think you can also. I think you can also put the Luisa models, and it comes up though with your name.
You know what though?
You know what I mean? It connects it. It connects it. Yeah.
Don't do the Luisa models thing anymore. I'm just gonna do my name because honestly, so I gave the photographer who put my photo on the cover of the Daily News, and he used Luisa Models as my full name, and I was like, dude.
No, in the search engine of Instagram, it still pops up, and Twitter too, it still pops up. But on the Twitter, your thing is locked. You locked it. But if you put Luisa Models, your face, and your full name comes up though. It's connected.
So I guess it comes up.
Yeah,
I guess I'll figure that out. But anyway, Luisa Ladeveze is my full name.
So it's not all about Luisa right now though. We're gonna talk about my man, the man of the hour. You know what I mean? You hear a voice in the background. You know what I mean? I know you guys are like, yo, is that the ghost? Nah. He could be like a ghost. He could be like a ghost, sneak up on you. We got my man. Well, first of all, I got to do this introduction. My man has been a part of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. You know, so we're talking about Viacom. Can we get a soul clap, VH1, soul clap for that. Then my man has also done stuff for BET. That's another Viacom brand. You know, can I get a soul clap for that? You might as well just call him Mr. Viacom. You know what I mean? Because he just does a lot of stuff for that whole network. Then my man is also a writer. You know, he has his own magazine, hip hop urban magazine called Scrilla Magazine, where he speaks with different urban artists and different things that's going on in urban media. You know what I mean? As a writer, a publisher, right? Because when you own a magazine, you're a publisher. You know what I mean? get to sit in the head of the table. Then my man is in.
There's
you know,
more.
Yeah, of course. We got to speak. You know what I mean? We talking about
Damn.
a lot of things. You know, so my man is in media. So we just talked about TV. We just talked about media print publication or online publication. Now we must speak about the movies industry. And my guy is a writer and a producer.
Hold on, bro.
Huh?
No, carry.
Okay.
No, carry on.
Okay, got you.
Hold on. Let me get my movie star glasses out.
Yeah, get them out.
Go ahead. I'm ready for this bit of news.
He's been a part of biopics, particularly the Tupac All Eyes on Me biopic he's been a part of. So that's pretty big. And now he's gonna be producing and be a part of the back end of an iconic hip hop legend in the New York scene. And I shouldn't just say New York, you know, lyrical, you know, hip hop's origin, you know what I mean? This guy that we're speaking of has discovered Mace, he discovered Cameron. The whole Harlem movement, pretty much, of how it developed was from this rapper. And my man Daze, aka Lord Daze, is doing the behind the scenes and is a producer and is attached to the biopic of this legendary artist named Big L. If you guys don't know Big L, Google him. You know what I mean? Can I get a soul clap one time for that?
Facts.
You know, so, you know, all you Generation Zers, because, you know, me and Luis, we millennials, you know what I'm saying? And Daze were millennials. All you young kids were like 17, 18, you might not know the history of Big L. So I would tell you guys got the iPhones, the new Samsungs. Google and do your research. You know what I mean? Do your research. You got the Bing, you got the Google, you got the Yahoo. There's a lot of search engines out there. And do your research about uptown music. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean Andre Harrell, no disrespect. But when I'm talking about uptown, I'm talking about the Bronx and I'm talking about Harlem. That hip hop scene. And, you know, how that all cultivated, you know, hip hop. Because that biopic, when it comes out, it's going to be phenomenal and it's going to give you some history. You know what I mean? So all you young cats that tune in, you know, all my followers will be like, yo, who's that? What is that? Well, Google it, you know what I mean? Because I'm not a teacher. I'm not here to teach. I'm here to inform, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? But we got my man Daze. Can I get a one-time soul clap for my man Daze? Scrilla Magazine, media producer.
Scrilla Guerillaz Magazine.
Scrilla Magazines. I keep saying Scrilla because he be getting that Scrilla. You know what I mean? He's the uptown cat, so you know Harlem cats be getting that money. So you know what I mean? Scrilla Guerilla.
Scrilla Guerilla.
Scrilla Guerilla with the drop top. You see how he's moving, man. You see what he's doing. You know what I mean? So Daze, man, thank you for coming on the Cast podcast, man. We doing things, man. We're making moves. You know, our numbers is getting there. You know, we glad to have you before, you know, this
I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, let's start with like how Daze became Daze, right? If that makes right. We always want to start with the beginning. How did your journey start?
I started off as a MC. This is probably when I was about 14 or so. I started off as an MC. We used to rap. We had a little rap crew called TYF in the South Bronx. And my cousin was a...
Yeah, Luis.
I always got to do that, you know.
Gotta rep the BX. Hell yeah. So my cousin, when I was rapping, I got pretty good. We had a group. And my cousin was a part of the NFL crew in Harlem. And he introduced me to one of his friends, what turned out to be the rapper Big L.
So, wow.
Once I met Big L, I told him I was rapping and all that. So he, you know, showed me some pointers on what I need to do to rap, showed me how to count bars and everything like that. So we continued rapping. So every time I go to Harlem, I go 139th and I go check Big L, you know, say what's up. He was like the only rapper that we knew that was actually had a CD out. You know what I'm saying? So we can go over there and check him out. So, you know, we were rapping, doing our thing. And then a few years later, you know, he wound up getting, you know, murdered. And we just kept going. Can
you put the context of the years of everything? Because a lot of these kids probably not even, a lot of our fan base, they Generation Zers. We got a lot of millennials, baby boomers, Xers. They probably wasn't even born. What year are we talking about?
I met Big L in 1995. In 1995, I met Big Al in New York. And he wound up getting killed in 1999, February 15th, 1999.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that's peace to him, man. So after that, I always been kind of, influenced by him from what, he kind of taught us, and I showed how the impact that he had on the, the hip hop culture and then, just the streets in New York, the impact. So, fast forward it, I've still started rapping. So, I did some time in prison, came home, linked up with the kid, French Montana. He had the Cocaine City stuff going on, the DVDs and stuff like that. So me and a partner of mine named Blaze, we started doing business with him, and he put us on a Cocaine City joint. But I felt like we didn't get where we needed to be at. Right. So some time passed. I wound up going to prison again. This time I went in for a little while, and while I was there, I was looking at magazines and stuff like that. And I'm like, I got to come up with something for people that came up like me in the street. I grew up in the street in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I designed Scrilla Guerillaz Magazine. So we started off as a street crew in the street before everything. But when I came home, I kind of just turned it into a legitimate business, which later came Scrilla Guerillaz Entertainment and Magazine, where everybody knows today.
Right. Scrilla Guerillaz, definitely. Let's talk about, you brought the French Montana. Do you still work with him? You still do business with him today? Or
I see him and I walk right past him, and I don't know French Montana no more. You know what I'm saying?
Really.
He became a superstar. So, it might be like, yo, what up? But it ain't no combos and none of that stuff. And he don't anything, people get to a certain position and, it's just different. It's just different vibes, different people. So.
Got you.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess, it happens. It's the industry. Yeah. It's just, it is what it is.
You separate real shit. When you get in the industry at a certain point, you kind of understand the circles of people. So,
right.
It's not impersonal. We just don't do business. We don't do business, so there's no reason for us to really have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's all love, though.
Right.
That would break my heart. I'm just saying. I'm very emotional.
Why?
I'm a very emotional person. I know, because I am. I don't know. I genuinely care about people. I feel like, it would be the same difference if I knew somebody and I was real tight with them in like second grade, and then I saw them and they didn't even want to say hi to me, even though I didn't speak to them for like 10 plus years. And I'm just like, oh, fuck you. Like, we knew each other.
No, it's not even that type of vibe. We wasn't never real tight. Like, we'd be hanging out, going in studios, drinking, smoking.
Yeah, but still, like you're around each other. I don't know. But anyways, that was a slight detour off of the main points.
No, it was cool. Yeah, I just don't want the listeners to be like, oh, y'all was best friend. No, we was cool. We was hanging in the studio, do music, get fucked up. My team worked on his first mixtape. Then he got signed to Akon. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. With Comedy Music. I remember that. I remember that Cocaine. I remember that DVDs. It was Smack DVD, All Access, Cocaine City. I remember all that. I was young, just watching it. But the DVDs. If you go on YouTube, a lot of those DVDs are still up. You know what I mean? People like converted it to YouTube and stuff like that, so you can get the history on that. Let's speak. Okay, so you started in hip hop, right? You started doing rap. Right. Yeah. Was that kind of slow moving? What kind of made you transition to be like, let me get into this media?
Because it wasn't no real outlets. You know what it was? It was getting scammed. You know what I'm saying? From people saying, yo, I can do this, I can do that. You can perform. It's $5,000, $500, and I just got tired of meeting a bunch of nobodies that act like they're in position. So I had to, it happened to me. So I had to create something that way, people that's coming up, it don't happen to them. So I created the media outlet, which I see everybody, is attracted to me. Media works with everybody, from music to film, television, businesses. Every outlet deals with media. So that's why I decided to focus on media and, try to work with everybody.
Right. A lot of people, when they think of media, like they look at it. I remember President Trump saying, like, now, instead of it called the press, they're calling it media. And I think, what he was just kind of referred to, that everybody now can have like a voice. You know what I mean? Like, our slogan is, we all got a voice and an opinion, but it's just how you use yours, right? So however you want to use your own microphone, or your vocal, however you want to, you know, transgress that to the people, and that's on you. You know what I'm saying? And I think now it's become more people can kind of not have to go through. I remember the days of media where you had to kind of go through certain organizations, go through certain people, but now people can just upload it, you know, do a podcast through Zoom, mobile phone, you know what I mean? And make it go, you know what I'm saying? And just let it go, edit it however you want to edit it, make it a masterpiece. What do you think about that?
The difference between it is people don't understand. Press is like news companies that's coming. It comes from being published. Like when people say the term fresh off the press, like a magazine or a newspaper or something like that. Versus media is more digital content. You know what I'm saying? Being covered and just covered on all bases. A lot of people don't think they think it's the same thing, but it pretty much is, but it has its outlets.
Right. With your publication, right, with the Scrilla Guerillaz, right? What was your intent? What did you want to do with that brand? Like, and I know you're still involved in it, and still, you know, because you know when you're doing something like that, it's always gonna go with the times.
I had that for 11 years.
Yeah, congratulations, salute to this young entrepreneur.
I dropped my last issue, which is issue number 26. I dropped that with Pop Smoke, right after the past.
Sure. Got you.
Right after the past.
Yeah.
But the whole goal of it was to tell stories of people that probably wouldn't get heard. You know what I'm saying? And that's upcoming artists. That's people that's incarcerated. You know, you have a lot of good people that's incarcerated that never get a chance to tell their side of the story. And being that I was incarcerated at the time, I understand it. So that's what the whole media outlet started as. That's what the Scrilla Guerillaz Magazine started as, a means to tell stories that may go unheard.
Right. Cool.
Does the name have any? I was just gonna say, you know, the name is kind of like very interesting. Like, what inspired the name of the magazine?
Like I told you, we started off as a street crew. So
the street crew.
Street crew, yeah. We were just a Scrilla Guerillaz, and I was just like more like a militant team getting money. So militant team. We all moving a certain kind of way, and we grinding. So you know, when people think of gorilla, they think of the animal, but it's not the animal, it's the military warfare.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So in the Scrilla,
that's cool.
Everybody knows Skrilla is the money. So I just incorporated everything and made it mine.
Yeah, of course. Right. Harlem cats always talk about money, so I already knew. Oh, okay, yeah, he's definitely uptown, and you know the whole Big L affiliation. So you know they always talking about money. It's about getting fresh, getting clean, and money. You know what I'm saying, and taking care of what you got to take care of.
Well, tell us about this movie a little bit, because I went to your Instagram and I saw that you're doing casting calls. There's that link, right? So,
so we're doing casting right now. So the casting right now is we're going to be shooting the pilot for everything. We got a Netflix deal on the table right now, and they want us to shoot a pilot for it. So we're going to shoot about a good 10 minutes of the film in the next 2 weeks. So we're casting right now for certain roles that's out right now. And we're going to be doing that in New York City. We did a casting about a year and a half ago in Atlanta. So my partner who I was working with, it was actually Big L's nephew. Is Leroy Finney.
Right.
And that's literally Big L's brother's son.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, last summer he got murdered. He got murdered last summer.
Oh no!
It was big. It's big in the urban New York scene. Wow. Like, you know, if you understand, like, urban, it was kind of big news. Like, you Google it again. You know what I mean? Young people. You want to know about Big L, and you want to know about his family lineage. This is the important thing that he's talking about, because this was big last year.
It's crazy because he was killed on Lenox Avenue in Harlem. Big L was killed on Lenox Avenue, and his father, Big Lee, was killed on that same block. And the dude that killed Big L was killed on the same block. So
exactly.
All them deaths on that block.
Yeah. And again, this is all like public information that people can see.
Yeah. Last summer, in last June, he got killed. So we had to start the process all over, as far as, you know, working out with the rights and doing all that type of stuff, and, you know, stuff with the family. There was a lot of mixed emotions with everything. So
Daze, you gotta be the one. You gotta be the one to actually put this project out, because what's been happening is that a lot of these urban flicks be being made. Remember last summer, or it was the summer before, the BMF flick, and everybody had went to like all these different locations, Los Angeles, Atlanta, and I'm not trying to put nobody under the bus. I don't know if it was business dealing with 50 and the producer that he was supposed to work with, and it just didn't go through. But I just remember all these casting calls for that, and that would have supposed to have been a story that should have been told to the world. You know what I mean? And it didn't go through. So with you, it's got to be told because this is iconic right now. You know what I mean? So this got to go through, man. You know what I'm saying? It got to go through.
Yeah, we pushing it to go through, man. You know, you got a lot of people that's trying to sideball. You know, it's like it's certain individuals that I put on. They trying to steal the rights and all this type of stuff for the story and all this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But we already got started. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Leroy was my partner. That was my homie. So you know, you got, and always when you have stuff like that, you're gonna always have people coming in trying to mess up a good project.
Right.
But they don't really know the real story. They don't even know exactly what it takes to grow up in the streets of New York. You know what I'm saying? So they just a lot of outsiders that's trying to get in on some money.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you, it's a question that I've kind of thought about for myself as well, but how do you protect an idea, right? Like, I know you said that you've already gotten started, but like, what are the measures just for people who are curious, maybe like people who are writers themselves or like producers in the film industry and like they have their ideas and they want to like, put it out on the table. But like, like you just said, people are always looking to steal ideas. So like, what is something that you've done to kind of like set that as yours, Yeah.
Copyright it with the, with the government. That's your local court office. And then you register it. You register your project.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the closest way. You can always have somebody, still try to steal stuff
Yeah,
and change little things up. So, I mean, but the best thing you can do is just, keep moving and knock the project out,
Right, like get it done.
Yeah, put everything on paperwork. Definitely put it on paperwork. Get everything registered, copywritten. All the legit stuff that you need to do, just like running a business. A film is considered a business. So you do the same exact thing. And, push the project out. Just don't talk to everybody about it.
Right,
People are scandalous and they're looking for new ideas. They'll do this, they're looking for it. And people, so you have certain people that got money, and they'll buy their way into a project, and try to, steal rights and all this type of stuff. So you just got to keep it moving. You can't even worry about it. You just got to do it,
Right. Good advice.
That great advice. Great advice. I mean, that's important. What I guess my question is like, what's next? I guess is it because you kind of done like you've been in that fold of doing TV and movies. Like, are you going to stay in this realm for a minute? Because this doesn't get ageless. This is not like hip hop music or whatever music. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, even some of your greatest artists. You coming from Harlem. Cameron and Jim Jones and that whole Dipset. They all have different ventures. So are you kind of like is this the outlet because you've kind of been successful in the TV, film, and biopic? It's like more along. It's like ageless, right?
I want to tell more stories. I want to tell more urban stories and bring them to the screen to make them out. So after I'm done with the Big L project, I'm going to be working on a Furtado Brothers story. Yeah,
of course.
Those some of my OGs too. And depending on the outcome of this, I'm going to be working on their story. So we already talked about and got everything in the works too.
They gave you the rights. Or you guys in the works? So
no, we working everything out now.
Got you. Oh, that's gonna be big. That's gonna be big.
We got some projects under the belts too, and then I want to do a few black horror films too. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I remember I was telling you I asked you yesterday when we spoke, like, about, you see a lot of these urban legends on YouTube, right? And it's like, to me, I look at that, I'm like, yo, it's free, you know what I mean? And it's like Netflix, Hulu, you watching on YouTube on a Sunday night, you know what I mean? And I asked you why haven't you gone that route like some of the others? Can you kind of elaborate why you didn't want to go that route, like some of these others that are doing like the urban of their cities or whatever?
Because you got two forms of YouTube. You got YouTube Red, and then you got the regular YouTube. The YouTube Red is what you got to pay for. So I would consider that, but I don't want to. I think when you take time and to create something, you don't want to give it out for free, not for views. I'm not one of these millennials that's doing stuff for views. We doing stuff to make an impact and change people's lives. So of course we got to accumulate some income to get an outcome. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes.
Cool. So what's next? What's next for I guess Scrilla Guerillaz? You know, you the head Scrilla Guerillaz. You know what I mean? What do you got planning up?
Well, we're working on another issue right now, issue number 27, and it's going to highlight all the tragic stuff that happened in 2020 so far. 2020 has been one of the craziest times of a lot of people's lives. Right. With the COVID, the riots, the race wars, Trump being in office. Like, this is a crazy time right now.
Right.
It's a crazy time
the
right
election
now.
happening.
Yeah, the election.
About to happen.
Crime is up 60% since all this stuff going on. The pandemic,
that's a fact.
Being locked down, like there's a lot that happened this year. So the my next issue is based on 2020. We're going to be dropping that sometime in hopefully the end of August. Sometime end of August. And people that's listening, they can go to the website www.sgzmag.com and stay updated on the progress with that. So hopefully we'll be dropping that real soon.
Cool, man. Are you gonna be a part of like any like TV specials or you've been a part of different biopics that like these major corporations are putting out, like the All Eyes and
I'm looking to do something, but it just gotta feel right. I don't wanna. I'm in a different position. So like when I was working on All Eyes on Me, I worked under LHHATL, so I was literally shadowing.
Oh man,
him.
he's a legend. He's a legend. How was it like that learning from him? Because he's like, he's been in the game.
LHHATL is a real humble dude, and he's informative. So he don't mind sharing information. Like I told him what I'm working on. I told him, what I'm working on right now. He gave me some pointers on what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Don't do this, do that, do that, don't do this. Even though, he got some slack from the Tupac movie. Yeah. He still made it happen. Right. He made it happen. You know what I'm saying? So, and I watched the whole project get developed. I did some of the behind the scenes media for it. I did the magazine publication entitled for the whole project. You know what I'm saying? We did all the premieres. I did the tour with them. I did a lot, and I learned a lot. So that's why it kind of pushed me to do this. So now that I'm in the producer's chair, I don't think I have that much time to go on somebody else's project and shadow them just yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now I'm in a different position to grow myself.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're gonna be in.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because you have your casting coming up. Are you gonna be in New York soon?
Yeah, I'll be in New York Friday.
On Friday? Is that the 8th?
New York Friday morning, yeah. New York Friday morning. We're going to be doing a casting and at a secret location. Everybody that, fill out the information, application, we screening everybody because you got a lot of people that's not professionals. You got a lot of people that's coming to sabotage stuff. So we screening every application that come in. It's taking some time, but we're going to get back to everybody before the day comes.
Oh my gosh.
We're doing casting on Saturday from 2 to 7 and on Sunday from 2 to 7 at a location in the Bronx.
Oh, it's gonna be in the Bronx. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So everybody that sent the application in, I just tell everybody, check it out, be professional with it, fill in your stuff. Like we got a lot of people talking about, I do music, I want to check out this movie. Like no, we're not here looking for artists. That's for the magazine stuff. You know what I'm saying? On the film, we're looking for actors to portray certain roles. Mm-hmm. And you got a lot of people just trying to get in to push their music and all that stuff, which is cool, but that's not what we're here for. So all our actors just be professional and fit the criteria of what we're doing.
Nice.
So I'm gonna round it out because I know you're busy. You out on the road and doing stuff. Like, what you want people to remember Daze? You know what I mean? What would be your marquee symbolic feature about yourself that you want people to remember?
Well, I want to be known for creating projects that outlive my own life. Right. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a magazine, as a movie, it's music, whatever it is, I want to be known for making projects that outlive my physical form and helping others to do the same. Making legends.
Good, man. Sounds good, man. Daze, man. You know what I mean? Can I get a soul clap? You know what I mean? My man Daze, Scrilla Guerillaz Magazine, media personality, actor, producer, writer, and just, a publisher, all around good guy. Got the Big L movie coming, they're doing the casting for that. And, he's been a part of a lot of different projects, man. You heard him from himself. Big L discovered him, right? Pretty much discovered you, right? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say he discovered me because he didn't put me in the game, but he taught me. I came up, I was under the tutelage, yeah.
I feel like he taught like so many people from uptown, like Harlem, Bronx, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, he definitely needs his, you know, he needs his roses. I wish his roses were still, you know, when he was alive, you know, he could get his roses. And that's the thing too in the industry, the music industry particularly, that, you know, people don't give people their roses while they're around, you know what I'm saying? And he was definitely someone who was iconic in the hip hop culture in general. And in an uptown scene, you know what I mean? In New York City scene, you know what I mean? Worldwide scene, people all over the world know about Big L.
Crazy. We got so many people hitting us up outside of the U.S. from Turkey, Spain. It's crazy. Japan, China.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Indonesia hitting us up. UK hitting us up to be a part of this project. I'm
right.
like, we don't speak the same language, but this shit is crazy. It's dope to see how many fans he had around the world. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
20 years later. He been going 21 years now. It's interesting to see that.
Right. Well, like I said, man, you know,
what
we
legends
definitely
are made of.
You coming on the cash. You know, Luisa and I definitely, you know, let me get a soul clap for my man Daze, Scrilla Guerillaz Magazine. You know, Big L producer. Are you the producer or the executive producer? You got that credit, or
I'm the producer, and I wrote the whole script, and I'm the producer.
And you're the script. Oh, and you're the writer, yeah, as well too. Oh man, my man does it all. He's just Mr. Media. You're like, you know, that Mr. Vibe.
We got to make sure our work outlive us.
Definitely, man. Can I get a soul clap one time for my man Daze? You know what I mean? Soul clap.
You need a flute player, let me know.
Yeah. Pull up to the audition. Both of y'all.
You see?
Oh, word?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we need the address.
What part could I play? Let's see this. What could I play?
I'll have you play a role officer.
Yeah? Oh, all right. This is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna check out my movie stars.
Let's see. What you gonna do?
This is my cast. This is my audition right now. Excuse me.
Oh,
get the fuck inside.
She's taking too long. She fell.
That was the line. Excuse me. Get the fuck inside. Listen, I got that Bronx accent, so you know.
Y'all can definitely pull up. I'll send y'all both the information. Y'all can pull up.
Send me the information.
That's
Definitely, man.
No, the audition. I'll be in New York Friday, but the audition is Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Luis, you in the Bronx too? I think it's in the Bronx, right? It's in the Bronx.
I'm from the Bronx.
Yeah.
So I'll probably know where it's at.
Yeah.
You know, with an address, I can make it.
Bro, she'll come out there. All right, man. Daze, man, we appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. You know what I mean? I definitely wanted to bring light on the projects you're doing and just, you know, all the stuff that you've done. You know what I mean? So we appreciate you. And we definitely be in contact. And, you know, thank you. You know what I mean? This is, you know, an honor to have you and a pleasure to have you on. And this is the cast, man, the cast podcast. My man Daze, Scrilla Guerillaz Magazine, Sammy BE, along with Luisa Models.
Yeah, Luisa La Vici.
Yeah, La Vici.
We changing the brand. Okay.
You know, Luisa L. If you can't say La Vici.
Yes.
You know, so it is what it is. All right, the cast. Yeah, stay blessed. God bless. Okay.
Thank you.
You stop recording, Sammy?
Yeah, I'm about to.
Oh, he's out. Oh, that was a good show.